So I'm going to kind of wing it because David put most of these first 5 together. So I'm just going to go through some of the facts that are written down. And then if you have any questions later, you can send an email out to David or I, and we can get you more information if needed. So we have the Weigelia Maimone, small variegated Weigelia. These get some of them get a really pretty color if we have the Maimone purple, but these are to be pruned as needed, kind of grows like a shrub. White variegation around the green on the inside makes it a really nice eye-catching piece in any kind of garden. They do really well with full, hot sun. No, they don't do really well with full hot sun. It's going to cause some leaf issues just because of the white variegation on there, which is pretty standard for any kind of variegated plant. And they're going to be about 12 to 18 inches high, 18 to 24 inches high. And I put together a ton of slides over last week. Kind of an interesting fact to keep in mind for any plant. We know that the height of a person is generally going to equal the height of the length of their arm span. The same goes for plants. So if a tree is going to be 18 feet high, it's generally also going to have an 18-foot spread. So keep that in mind for plants as we're selling them through the spring, because we don't have that size comparison yet while they're first growing. But as they grow, we're going to be able to see that height and spread pretty much stay the same. Next slide, next picture, please. Geranium Roseanne, obviously one of our best sellers. We grow a ton of these. Right now we have 6,700 that are still left. Landscape favorite, it kind of takes over everything. If you need a spot that needs to be filled in, this is a great creeping plant. They do have those runners that they get at the ends. If you want to kind of keep it more compact, you can always clip those runners. The flower on these is more of like a violet color, a blue purple, and it mixes really well with other perennials. You can put larger perennials behind it and then use this as the ground cover to kind of take up that empty space. Next picture, please. Sedum Autumn Joy, really nice magenta almost flower. They attract a lot of butterflies and hummingbirds. Like we've said almost every week, we're focusing a lot on the pollinators. Don't discount your sedum as a pollinator because they do still get flowers. Most of them are going to get flowers in the fall, so any leftover birds that are still here and butterflies that are still making their journey down south, these are a great plant for them to stop at. They do clump a little bit more. They're not going to spread as much. And then you can cut them back in the spring and they're going to come up with a lot of really nice green foliage, thick green foliage, and these are a more dense plant. Lots of these left, still about 4,300 of these available. Next picture, please. Obviously, Hosta Patriot, fan favorite. We have so many Hosta, and we have just way too many of these. When we walk through the houses, I think we have probably 3 or 4 houses of just Hosta Patriot. A really nice rippled center with the green and then the white variegation around the outside. Prefers full to part shade. We do keep these in shaded houses. And if you're looking for just a hosta that'll go with almost anything, this is going to be your plant. We're going to trim them back in the fall, or in the spring, I'm sorry, and then they're going to put up some nice green foliage and then put the shoots as soon as it starts to get a little bit warmer outside. So they do get almost a violet, more on the lighter side of violet flower. Next picture, please. Now, you know you have an inventory team that's super in tune. When David and I talk, he says, hey, I have slides already up for you. I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do some blueberries. And he goes, oh, I already did those. So this was the one that David chose to put on here for today, the Vaccinium Duke. Now, obviously we grow Vaccinium for the blueberries. However, we also grow them for some fall color. A lot of people are putting these as a hedge in front of their houses now. These are going to get a little bit taller just because they are a single branch plant. And then in the fall, you can get the fall color in front of your house. If you scroll down just a little bit on this page, and you can see that bright red foliage there on the right. These also get a very cute flower before they start to grow the berries. It's almost a little bellflower, and I have a picture of something similar on the Vaccinium Jersey page, which is the next one up. So that top picture there, nice little bell flowers. The Vaccinium Duke is going to get more of a pink flower, whereas the Jersey is a little bit more white. And same thing, these are a high bush, a little bit taller, 5 to 7 feet, also a great hedge plant for the front of your house. And then again, as we've been talking about, these are great pollinators, and obviously you have the berries to pick also. So not only do you have a nice plant that you can eat the fruit from, but you also have a nice plant that you can use for landscaping. Next picture, please. The Sambucus laced up, I was trying to keep in the theme with berries. However, these don't produce berries unless they're pollinated with black lace, instant karma, or black beauty. But these are going to be a very nice high tree if you need to cover something up, or if you want to just put a tree in your landscaping in your front yard. They do get about 6 to 10 feet. They have a nice feathery black leaf and then a really pretty soft pink flower. They grow in clusters. And if you need something to contrast your landscaping, you have a lot of green. This is a great plant also because it does have that really dark foliage. And again, these are going to grow columnar, so they're going to grow pretty much straight up, and you're going to get lots of those clusters in there for the pink contrast. Next picture, please. And the Veronia iron butterfly, I threw this one in there because it grows into a really nice dense plant. So if you have some kind of flowers that have, or perennials that have more of like a wispy foliage or a feathery foliage, this one still has that nice feathery foliage to keep in with that same style. But these are going to grow a little bit more dense, and you still get these really cute feathery flowers on the ends of them. They are deer and rabbit resistant, but they are also going to attract your bees, butterflies, and any other pollinators. So the couple that I have on here, mostly focusing on trees that are in the pollinator program, the native plants. And we still have a ton of oak that are left over. So we have some Quercus bicolor. They have a very long lifespan. They make a great shade tree for large areas, and sort of keeping in that mindset that I said, similar height to spread, 50 to 90 feet tall, and they can be 30 to 100 foot spread. So they're going to, like I said, be a great shade tree. They are more of a swamp growing area. So if you have a spot by a pond, if you want to shade your pond a little bit more, or if you have a spot that gets some really good drainage, you can put it in that area. It is going to take a while to produce acorns, but once it starts producing acorns, they come in every 3 to 5 years. Obviously great food for the nuisance of squirrels, but we're also going to feed some more birds and things with those acorns once they've opened up. And something I learned about an acorn, a lot of trees and plants will throw seeds that have multiple, or seed pods that have multiple seeds. The acorn is only one seed. So every acorn that you drop is only one tree. And, and you can't mow them because they're too tough. The Quercus palustris, the pin oak, this one is not going to get quite the spread. They are going to be a little bit more columnar, 50 to 70 foot tall, 40 to 60 foot spread. They're going to turn a little bit more oval with age. They have a glossy green leaf that turns a russet, bronze, or orange, or red. I couldn't find a really good landscape picture of this one in the fall because they were all so young. So hopefully this summer, as we go through, we can get some picture of these as they turn through the fall. So we'll focus a little bit more on oak. And we have more 3-gallon and 15-gallon for these guys. And next picture, please. The Amelanchier candensis serviceberry. I just really like this tree because it stays a small tree. You get multiple branches in there, you get multiple trunks in there, and you have a really cute flower that turns into a berry. Couldn't find a whole lot of information about the berry, so if you're looking for more of that, I can always do a little bit more research for you. But because they stay small and you get a really awesome fall color with bright red and gold, this is a great tree for in front of your house, or if you have an island or something like that that you need to fill, this is a good tree for that spot. And these are available right now in the 3 gallons. And last slide, please. All right, fun facts that you would not believe. These trees are more than okay. The oaks are big in producing many things. Elegant furniture, flooring materials, cosmetic creams, whiskey barrels, and wine barrels are some of the many products that are used producing oak. And oak trees can live up to 1,000 years. The picture that's there is one of the oldest living oak trees. And oak gall. We consider oak gall a nuisance just because it can kill off branches and leaves. However, oak gall was used to create ink, and that ink was used to write important documents such as the Magna Carta, Mozart's music, and Newton's theories. And the music one especially touches me because I have a degree in music. I had no idea that anything was written with oak gall, let alone some of the most important music that we have. That's all I have for long roads.